Welcome, greetings, and salutations. In today's video, we will be doing a sketchbook page with me. Please feel free to draw or paint or clean something alongside with me. Of course, I chose a clean page, or at least as clean as it can be. There is a bit of bleed through from the painting that's on the other side of the page, but we're gonna paint the whole page more or less, so you won't see it anymore after a while. To give the paintings or drawings I'm going to do today on this page a nice border, I'm using washi tape to section off a few boxes. The washi tape that I'm going to use is the one with the green leaves. And I will say this one is probably my favorite in all those planty ones. After I gave the first box a nice border, I used another washi tape that is a bit more autumny. I decided to make a big box, a middle box, and then two similar boxes that are quite small because I wanted to practice on the small ones first. Because I didn't want to go and paint something on in the big box and then go to smaller ones because my hand needs to warm up first. And I started by drawing a squirrel, a very janky squirrel, by the way. The first steps it looks horrific, but rather later on I fix it and it looks a bit more realistic. But I start out with a squirrel reaching out to a leaf that's floating in the air. All of these paintings are done with watercolor pencils and of course water. There is a bit of pencils and like markers, but it's more or less just the watercolor pencils that I use. I will admit, out of all the drawings that I did on this page, this one is my absolute favorite. It came out the best and the most detailed, and I really did spend a long time on it. I really love how it came out. But what do you guys think about this one? Do you like it or do you think something should change? The next drawing is of a frog on a tree branch, and the background doesn't have much detail in it. It's just a green and I think a blue background. But this one is my least favorite. The frog is very blue and you can't see where the legs begin and where the eyes end. So you kind of it's a blurry mess and it didn't come out as good as I wanted it. I thought this one was going to be the easiest, but to be honest, it was the most hardest one. But at least I learned a bit about like how to do a frog because I haven't really done a realistic frog in quite a while. The next drawing is of a snail on a branch reaching down to a flower that is growing in a lake. This drawing didn't come out too bad. It did look a bit strange in the beginning because I used a very dark black for the background and it made everything look a bit muddy because I also mixed the black with a yellow to make it look like a dead bush. But later on I fix it and lighten things up and it starts looking a bit more better after a bit more time was spent. But the beginning was very frustrating because it didn't look like I wanted it to look. But I just went with the flow. The next drawing is of a goldfish looking up at bubbles. This one isn't as bad as the others, but it is a bit streaky. But I will say I did learn a new trick with how to do a bit more detail like on the eyes. I noticed if you wet the paper and put the base colors on top of it and then put the watercolor pencils on those colors and scrape it a little bit away, it kind of looks like it's hard to explain, but I think on the left eye I did it and it gives a nice little texture. You will notice that the ends of the fins are purple because I wanted them to look see-through since the background is going to be completely black. So everything's going to stand out a bit more. You can see here I used a touch marker for the background. It did leave a little streaks behind, but it doesn't really matter since paint would gonna have done the same. I'm very glad that I made the border with the washi tape since the marker would have kind of made a whole mess of the corners and the sides. So the washi tape helped keeping it neat and tidy, and it just helped make it look a lot better. And that is this page done. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and tell me in the comments if you did something or drew with me or painted with me. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and while you're done there, please consider subscribing. And thank you so much for watching till the end, and I hope you all have a nice day, and remember to take care of yourself, rest, and drink lots of water.